You see everybody? We good?
I can see three people.
We're live.
We're live now, streaming.
This is live. Okay, clean it up.
Where's the?
So better see how it's.
Where's the other iPad?
It's on the table there.
I'm getting texts.
Isn't it
Are you
right
getting
there?
text?
Is your phone blowing up?
Oh, I thought it was right there.
I've received a text that someone is excited about, either excited or surprised. We've acquired Tyus Jones.
We are pumped. I think he's a good player. You've seen him play, haven't you, Tyler?
Proven
watch
winner.
him?
I've not seen him play in person.
Well, why not? He's a Minnesota guy. We were trying to get him for the Gophers. Where were you when we needed him? You needed to wear the maroon and gold around town.
No, it's AO, Nels, entire live draft coverage.
I'm still a little salty that Clem didn't get him.
So let me ask you two this. I believe it was you two. I don't know if Anna, if you were in on this, but I know AO, you and Nels have seen Tyus Jones play live.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago. Tell us.
What?
Okay, tell us who we're getting in this player.
Tyus?
Yeah, tell us what kind of player we're getting.
Well, a great passer, first of all. Great court vision. He can shoot. He can score.
Pass first?
Yeah, I think he's more pass first, but he can score. You saw in the tournament. You know, he won tournament MVP or whatever. So or Final Four MVP. So he can score when he wants to. He's kind of deceptively quick. I think he kind of at times it seemed like when quicker guards were on him that he had trouble with that, but I still think he's quicker than he. I don't know. He's really explosive when he wants to be.
Proven winner.
Yeah, and he's from Minnesota. You know, it's fun that we get him.
Okay, we're switching back to Tyler. Okay,
You're switching? We have to hang up on you again?
No, I'm switching cameras, so Tyler's the main feed now.
Tyler, you're the main feed.
So let's ask Tyler a question. Tyler,
I'm the moderator. Hold on now. I want to ask Nels another question here.
All right.
Because I feel like they're probably somewhat of the same type of player. Nels, do you feel that Tyus is too small for the NBA? Do you have any concerns about his size?
No, I don't really. I mean, he's quick enough. He's a point guard, so he's not. It's not. Maybe the biggest concern is him guarding some of the quicker, taller guards. But at a point guard position, he's not going to be guarding guys like James Harden, or he's not going to be guarding guys like that. So
he's a change of speed guy.
Yeah.
He's been playing against bigger guys his whole time, so he's kind of like he's gonna fool them rather than athletically beat them, I think.
Does he play any defense?
They had him in kind of a zone at Apple Valley and Duke, and he was just kind of swiping at balls. So he's got a nose for the ball, but he really didn't lock anybody down. So Rubio is the better defender for sure.
For what it's worth, I can't see Anna anymore.
Oh, okay. Thanks for making note of that, Tyler.
Okay, great.
Anna was where's Heidi at?
Heidi's still out with her friends.
Oh, where's Oscar? Is he in bed?
Oscar's sleeping.
Okay. Well, we saw him earlier, but he didn't make the live cast. I messed that part up.
Yeah.
We didn't get live until the actual draft, so.
It's a bummer.
So next time I'll figure it out.
Okay, from Tyus Jones' perspective, do you feel like he's excited that he's coming home, able to play in his home state, or do you think there's a disappointment level that you just got traded from the team that made the NBA Finals?
If you check his Twitter feed, he's basically crying with his agent, so I think he'll be okay.
He's probably bummed out we didn't take Okafor, his buddy Okafor.
True.
Yeah,
I'm sure he probably would have loved that,
Yeah.
But
Did we get your final determination
Are
on
you
what?
guys
What? Who's
are you guys
asking
feeling
the
good
question?
about the amount that we gave up, the 31 and the 36? I know the 31 holds a certain amount of value there. 36 I'm not as excited about, but do you think that's fair value for a pick 24?
I think so.
Is there another Pekovic out there? I don't know. Pekovic
Yeah.
is pretty much the best player in the world.
What's that, baby
Is
monitor?
that Oski?
That's Oscar.
Do we say Oski?
He's,
I
he's
know that's
sleeping
what.
with his head. I only see his bottom half. Okay, so I'm just going to read a quick summary here from this is CBS Sports app. Matt Moore writing about James Jones' pick and trade. Jones is a smart player that can run the offense in Minnesota, which is reportedly acquiring this pick from Cleveland. With the kind of talent the Wolves have, it's great to have a floor general, which Jones projects to be.
Good summary.
Any reaction to that?
He's a true point guard, you know. I mean, he's got the skills of you know, that you can't teach, you know. I mean, like Rubio, he's a good point guard too, but Tyus can actually shoot the ball, you know.
I think he's kind of a Magic Johnson, John Stockton kind of hybrid kind of guy. Kind of Chris Paul, Russell Westbrook, you know.
Kind of like the two best assist guys to play the game. A combo of both.
Thinking,
He's a Pistol Pete,
I
Chris
mean,
Paul hybrid.
at minimum, we're talking 7-time All-Star. He's Rookie of the Year. Yeah,
I mean,
Towns wasn't there
He
too.
passes like Vlade, and Vlade would be the first guy to tell you that.
Manna from heaven.
He's like manna from heaven.
Okay.
I mean, did you watch the championship game, Duke Wisconsin?
Yeah, I did.
Highlights.
That's the only basketball I've ever seen Tyus Jones play, was the second half of the national championship game.
So
I'm really drawing from a large bank of information when I comment on him. And you know what? I liked what I saw. I saw him hit some big shots, and if he can bring even a fraction of that to the next level, we've got ourselves a player who can run the floor.
We got a text that just came in from Steve Fogelberg, watching you live.
Oh, great.
Hey, Steve.
Steve?
Thanks, Dad.
So I feel like we've got a guy, though, that can finally take the last shot, the big shot, you know, have another option there. We don't have to rely on Chase Budinger to hit the final three.
Maybe I don't know how.
What'd you just do?
No.
I need to take a quick break. I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right. Are we pausing the live feed?
I don't think you can pause it.
We can't pause it.
I don't know how to pause it.
We can't pause this? Where is he going? Now I'm the only one on the screen.
I think you can pick your own camera. I could be wrong. Maybe not.
He just said, "Where'd you go, Tyler?" My dad did. Oh man!
It's so confusing because I'm back.
Okay, I'm back.
Glad to have you back on the show.
I've got a small fire going on in front of me, and I had to put a few more sticks on it.
Oh, you got a little bonfire going? Backyard
Yeah, when
bonfire?
Heidi gets back, we're gonna surprise her, and we're gonna roast some mallows.
Oh, nice.
Aw.
Do we have a ETA for that?
Yeah, we should have at 9:02 they were eating dessert. So she's in Coon Rapids,
Oh.
so it should be coming here soon. You know, I'm looking at the rest of the first round here. Larry Nance Jr. drafted 27th overall. Is that the Larry Nance Jr.?
He's the Larry Nance Jr. That's where cousin Grant is going. Wyoming
Yeah.
Cowboys.
Yeah.
Laramie.
What can you tell us about that? About him?
super athletic. A lot like Dad. But he's had some injuries, so that kind of hurt Wyoming's chances. At one point, they were ranked during the year,
Yep.
so maybe potential there. I don't know. I don't think he's going to be Dad. He's a little too small, but
Sure.
I think I'd be happy to take him. I think this is one of the deepest drafts we had, so someone's got to take a chance on him, get lucky.
Okay, so let's touch on a few other first-round picks before we get to the big one, the elephant in the room. We've got some notable picks. The Bucks take Rashad Vaughn at 17. Do you like that pick?
I liked him a lot in high school. Did you watch Matt Cooper, Tyler? Did you go to some Cooper games?
I haven't seen him play. His dad did a commercial with Spire, and that's the extent I've seen of him or his family.
Who's his dad?
I read though that it's a need pick for the Bucks. That fills what they're looking for, and I think he could fit in nicely with the Greek Freak, Chris Middleton, that group of guys. It could, and they got Parker coming back too. So they actually do have a nice mix going. And if you're in the East, you don't have to win quite as many games. You can win the high 30s, sneak in the playoffs, and maybe win a series or two. They're obviously not ready to make it to the conference finals or anything like that quite yet. I think Parker needs to develop, but Rashad Vaughn can fit into that mix.
Yeah, we got a Dan Wynn comment on Rashad Vaughn. He said he thinks he made a mistake in going to a small market college. He should have went to UNC. The trend with one and done guys is they don't have to dominate statistically.
Hey,
With his skill set and size though, he could be a pretty good NBA player.
what's the lesson here? He went to UNLV and he got drafted 10 spots higher than he should have.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I mean, I hear what Dan was saying, but at the same time, AO's got a good point. Drafted 17th overall, that's not terrible. I mean, you can't rise up the ranks too much more. The next pick I want to touch on briefly here is number 18, Houston. Kevin McHale drafting Sam Decker here. CBS Sportsline giving that pick a grade level of D.
D. Wow.
Didn't like that pick at all.
Who got a D?
Decker goes to the Rockets.
Decker is probably the worst player in college last year. So how good is he going to be in the NBA if he's the worst player in college?
Do you think? What about like a Chandler Parsons type player? Don't you think he could be about as
Chandler Parsons, Dirk Nowitzki.
Well, which Chandler Parsons? Because Chandler Parsons was great 2 years ago, but terrible last year.
Yeah, he was hurt though, wasn't he? Wasn't he hurt for part of the season?
Yeah, I think he had some problems with the coach too. Okay, at 9, Frank Kaminsky goes to the Hornets.
Yeah,
how do you think that pick meshes with Jefferson?
Terrible pick all around. I think anyone who drafts Wisconsin people is in for a hurting. They're a team. I'll give them that. But do they have good players? No, they're terrible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why don't you say that to what's the guy's name that we had a couple years ago, the big center?
Who?
The big center.
Cherokee Parks?
Was he a Badger?
No, from Wisconsin.
The big center from Wisconsin?
Okay, let's move on.
I don't know. What center from Wisconsin?
Yeah, the big guy.
What is he? African American, an American, or is
Caucasian? He was Caucasian.
Are we talking Eastern European, or was he a...
No, he was like middle Wisconsin.
He was a homeboy?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, other than the first pick, let's save that one to talk about in a minute here, but go down and pick a player or a pick that you thought was good, extremely good value, a player that you were surprised that a team took either early, a couple that jump out to me, the number 2 pick was somewhat of a surprise. Number 4 pick, that guy went 2 picks earlier than my sources had him going. But what's one pick that stands out? Any other picks that stand out to you as good value, particularly a good value player that slid
Well,
or that's landed in a good spot?
well, Winslow, I think that was a good pick at 10.
Wasn't he going to go earlier than that though?
Yeah, so Justice Winslow slides to the Miami Heat at 10.
Yeah, that seems like a pretty good pickup at 10.
Oh, what's Miami's depth chart? They're going to have to Wade back.
I don't get this.
They're going to. Why are they showing us the Hawks net? I don't know why they're showing us that trade. Anyway. Yeah,
they got Goran Dragic. They got Udonis Haslem.
He's probably 45 now, Haslam.
Nothing greater than a Florida Gator.
Yeah, pretty much the worst you can do is get a Iowa Hawkeye. That's the one step below.
Any ideas why a guy like Winslow would slide all the way to 10?
Well, why did Tyus go to? It's clearly anti-Duke here. I think Coach K got on the phone. He slurred some of his words, made some bad impressions. I think we got a little fire going on. We're losing a little light there. There we go. Or maybe it's just the phone. I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, I think it's the anti-Duke year. It's a pushback, winning the championship. Nobody wants to take the easy. It's like too easy to take the team who won the championship, so we'll take the Kentucky guys. Whatever. Maybe if they got the championship, they would look worse. You know, if they had
GMs consider a team that won, so we'll take the other guy.
If they had played Duke in the title game, and the Duke players look better in that game, does that completely change this draft around? If Okafor pushes Towns around, if Tyus Jones is clearly better than Booker, and Justice is better than Trey Lyles, probably, don't you think? I mean, it was 10 versus 12, but there should have been a bigger difference there, maybe.
Have any questions come in from Steve Fogelberg?
I got a text that just came in from Steve Fogelberg. Tyler could be the weekend sports anchor on local TV up here. So he thinks you have a bright future, Iron Range sports reporter.
Is there local TV?
That'd be great. I'd take that as a weekend spot, sure.
Are we talking Duluth? Is there a Virginia station?
Cook.
Yeah, I think Duluth is probably the closest.
I think you're a fan of Duluth now. Can we get your thoughts on Duluth real quick? Maybe
I love Duluth.
Possible place to move. We got Steve getting you a job there.
Sure. So obviously the big news of the night was the Timberwolves landing on the big cat, Karl Anthony Towns, taking him #1 overall. Seemed like when we won the lottery, consensus was throughout the year that Jahlil Okafor was going to go #1 overall. Somehow we switched camp in the last couple weeks. Now Karl Anthony Towns is our guy. Consensus #1 pick by just about everyone, saying that he's got the brightest future out of anyone in the draft. He's got the highest ceiling. What do you guys think? How does he fit into our squad and what we're trying to do over the course of the next few years?
I don't know. I think he'll be a solid pickup for sure for the Wolves. We need a shot blocker, and he gives us that. Good defense inside.
Right.
Are we worried about him turning into Darko?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, he's kind of slow. He's a little slower, you know. I mean, I don't see him as like he's not like when you watch Stein, that Willie Cauley-Stein, the other guy from Kentucky, who just like really springy, you know. I mean, he's not kind of that kind of player. He has more skills, obviously, but I don't know. I'm not convinced he's going to be a guaranteed all-star, but we'll see.
So here's the problem, though. You cannot afford to miss on the bust. He's got to give you at least some production, make a few all-star games. He doesn't have to be dominant. He doesn't have to be a top 50 player, but he does need to be a contributor. Maybe even the third cog of a top 3 to make this work. If this guy's a bust,
like a Chris Bosh in the LeBron Wade Bosh Big 3, something like that, plays the third.
Yeah, exactly. But if this guy's a bust, then we've got a lot of problems, because not only did you miss out on a player who could give you production, you miss time because you have to give him. You've got so much invested. You've got to give him so much time. You've wasted a year, 2, 3 years before you find out that he's not any good and you cut bait on him. It's very unusual how Cleveland cut bait on Anthony Bennett right away, traded him after a season. I don't see that happening here. So
Yeah.
Is Aubrey making any noise?
I think he's got to come in and produce right away. A little lower.
A little lower.
Who's going to produce?
He's talking about the cat, big cat.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Hey.
I'm gonna switch the camera over to Tyler, see what he's doing.
Andrew, was Bailey or Aubrey sleeping?
Yep.
Okay. Bailey, look at Bailey. She's just kind of
Bailey, you need help?
patiently waiting.
Yeah, it's typing something.
How come he's showing he's typing? Is that through
It shows you
messages?
yeah, it shows you on. Yeah, see.
Yeah,
That's handy.
Yeah, so it tells you.
that's cool.
Or not handy, depending on what your perspective is.
So give me a projected Timberwolves
What's the-
opening day starting lineup from the Timberwolves.
Bugs. Thanks, honey.
Opening day starting lineup?
Yeah.
Well, man, I wonder what we're going to do with Pekovic. I was reading, like, he's had so many injuries over the past 2 or 3 years, like foot, ankle injuries, you know?
Yep.
And he ended his season with an Achilles surgery, or didn't he have surgery on his Achilles, and that would put him out for the rest of the year?
Yep.
I mean, the guy is like, he can't stay healthy.
Did you see the tweet the Timberwolves put out? They put out a picture of 5 people: Towns, Shabazz Muhammad, Gorgie Deng, Zach LaVine, and or was it Wiggins and Rubio? So it was no Pekovic, no Adrian Payne, no Robbie Hummel. Who else? Does Shabazz get in the top 5, Tyler?
He definitely was going that way before he got injured. I think that if he can stay healthy this season and continue to play that he worked on last season, I think that he does work himself into a starting lineup.
Steve's final text coming in. He says, "I'm heading off to see what the national sports have to say. Thanks for some enjoyment. Oscar has to produce."
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what the last part means.
Great. Well, thanks for joining, Steve. Any questions can be submitted on Facebook or text. We'll take questions and give you any insight that we can come up with. We're ending we just ended the first round, and now it's going to be interesting to see what Cleveland does with the first pick in the second round, and we can see what type of players that we're missing out on.
Have they admitted that we traded yet?
It says on ESPN Minnesota's pick, 31, and they're even throwing the starting lineups out there.
Rubio, Kevin Martin, Andrew Wiggins, Kevin Garnett, and Nikola Pekovic.
That's what it says our starting lineup will be. Pekovic and Garnett?
That's not true.
No. It'll probably be Wiggins, Rubio, probably Martin, right? Kevin Martin at the 2.
Do you want to cuddle?
Wiggins at the 3. Wiggins could play the 3. And then Pekovic is not going to stay healthy. He'll either be hurt or hopefully we could trade him, but I don't know who would want him in his big salary.
Right.
You know, but probably, would you throw Towns in there that soon, a 19, 20-year-old?
For the starting lineup?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that picture had 6 players on it. No Pekovic.
Probably Jang.
No Garnett.
Jang would be a starter.
Is Garnett even still under contract right now?
No, he's not.
Who's that?
Garnett. We got to sign Garnett, don't we?
Is he just a free agent right now?
Well, what? Maybe he's
a free agent. Garnett's going to sign either the first week of July once free agency starts, or I've heard that he may wait until August once our free agent or once our salary cap situation settles down and we can decide how much we can pay him.
What's his deal? I thought he was like all in. Is he not an owner?
He's all in.
Okay.
He's all in. He's there. There's no problem. He'll be there. I think that's what he's doing is he's taking a back seat, and he'll be there. There's just other things to be done first.
Would Kevin Garnett make a good head coach?
I have no idea.
He swears a lot. He's got a lot of intensity. He knows the
He's
game.
fiery.
He's not one of us. Why can't we convince him to be head coach?
He'd be a firing.
I mean, that's the question. Is he auditioning for a coaching role, being the veteran player this year?
I don't think he wants the job, but I think he should have the job.
I think he would be a great defensive coach. Like I think he'd be great teaching guys how to play good team defense.
Do you want Flip to be the coach for the next 5 years? Who are we going to get to coach?
Flip's as good as anyone.
Like who?
I don't have a problem
top
with Flip
five?
Saunders coaching.
Top 5, Flip Saunders?
Sure.
Well, who's the?
I don't have a problem with Flip Saunders coaching at all.
Okay.
He's got as much experience in the conference finals and finals as anybody else we're going to get, and he's well respected within the organization. He's got the backing of the owner. He's part owner. I mean, so he's got everything in place that he needs. And I think with Kevin Garnett there, especially this year, there's going to be even more respect for him to set the tone with Carl Anthony Towns coming in, and I like the way the pieces are falling into place.
Pieces are in place. Do we still need some 3-point shooting? Tyus is not. I know you haven't seen him play much, but is there anybody in the market right now that we can pick up?
Unsure about that. I think Kevin Martin's your 3-point shooter. I don't know that that's a top priority to add any more depth in that area. If Chase stays and tries to contribute next year, he can shoot the long ball a little bit too, but I don't see that being a strong point for this team again next year. I don't see us bringing in anyone else who can really make a significant impact in that area.
That's what makes me worried. I think the league is moving towards the 3-point shooting right now for the next 2 or 3 years. We got to be able to outshoot Golden State. You think Budinger and Martin are good enough for that? I'm not positive we're going to keep either of them.
Yeah, don't know. We'll have to see. So I want to ask you guys a question. We want one player from each of you. Who's the one player you guys think has the best chance to be the player who we said, I wish we would have drafted that guy number 1. We're kicking ourselves that we didn't draft that guy. Who's the player who's got the best chance to be the standout Hall of Fame type player that we didn't draft tonight?
It's Russell with the bullet. I think he's got the size. He's got the shooting touch. If you watched him torch the Gophers, I think I'm not positive. I'd say 50-50. He's all-star in 3 years. I don't know if he's going to be, up into the top 10, top 5, but I think he's got a shot of being up there.
Okay. How about you, Nels?
Yeah, I mean, I'd go with either him or Okafor. Those are the two guys that, I mean, I still think Okafor is just, with what he can do with his size, underneath the basket, and I don't know. I really think could end up being a really good player. I mean, the only guy you compare him to is Tim Duncan, but I mean, look at how great his career has been. Duncan's career, obviously. I think it's way too early to. I mean, it's hard to compare, but I mean, he could end up being somebody, close to that good. Even a poor man's Tim Duncan is pretty darn good.
Yeah, it's a rich man.
I think he plays a little like Pekovic, but he's better than Pekovic. And Pekovic's nearly at his best playing. He's like a max guy.
Yeah,
sure.
When he's healthy.
Well, we're going right on down the line here. AO grabbing the guy taking second overall. Nels taking third. I'm going to go with the guy taking fourth to the Knicks, Kristaps Porzingis. I think has.
Oh, did you see it? New York fans booed him.
Yeah, they were all. There was this little kid they were showing. He was like in tears.
You know, New York fans aren't ever happy. So I mean, who would they want? Who do they want there? The draft just didn't fall their way. So,
Yeah.
but I think Porzingis. I've seen some videotape on him and some workouts, and he's a guy that's got an inside-outside game. He's got some size to him. One of the tallest drafted in the draft tonight, and I think that he's in the New York market could be a force to be reckoned with.
Will they win with Carmelo, though? Isn't he holding them back?
Perhaps.
He's a volume shooter. I don't think volume shooters are going to win in the league. Would you trade Carmelo? What could you get for Carmelo?
I have no clue what the draft.
We just took.
Would you take a Carmelo Anthony on the Timberwolves right now?
No. Would you?
You wouldn't take him. For Chase and Anthony Bennett, you wouldn't take him?
I think Carmelo Anthony is marginally better than Michael Beasley.
Have they started the second round yet?
We took Cedi Osman from Turkey.
So I'm going to explain to you guys why the first pick in the second round is so valuable. All the draft picks in the first round are guaranteed contracts, and so the first pick in the second round is the first pick of the night in the NBA draft that is a non-guaranteed contract. So typically, it would be a player like Cedi Osman coming from Macedonia. Someone you can take dash and not have to guarantee his contract.
So does that mean like that they can come? They're in training camp. They can see him play, and do they have to make a decision by preseason to sign his contract, or what do you mean? Not? I don't know what you mean by.
Go ahead, Ao.
Oh, now they made the trade.
Oh, they're going official with the trade.
Yeah, it says proposed trade.
Cedi Osman.
They're a little behind.
36th overall for Tyus Jones. Do we want Cedi though? Maybe Cedi's a better player.
This is only proposed.
You know, I'm not in love with Cedi Osman.
Huh? He looked really good against 15-year-olds with no one watching.
Yeah, did you see him in the European national game this year?
In the Euro gold.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys care, but Anna again has floated out of the picture.
I think Anna has purposely gone on the picture.
She's gotten out of the live feed. We're kind of small. I went on there though, and it's definitely you're the primary video. We're just small in the corner. The YouTube.
Switch it back.
This is what it looks like on live right now. And it's a little delayed.
I've been switching the camera sometimes.
In that area.
This is not Bailey's favorite thing to do.
Here, put it back by me.
I'm logging on now. It says there's been one view.
Here, put it back by me again. We are having a really good cuddle.
Yeah.
What is that?
I don't know. I didn't get any text blowing up. Did you guys get any text from that they were watching or no? I think it was just my dad.
This will be archived for the future.
I don't.
This will be archived. We'll
Yes.
be able to watch this then.
So we'll get more views.
This would be a great FJ15 DVD. Rip on a DVD. We could watch it. Yeah.
You have more confidence in J.J. Barea or Tyus Jones?
I have no confidence in J.J. Barea.
Tyler's favorite player. Dribble, 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 dribble. Fade away.
You do bring up a good point. How does a player like J.J. Barea and a player like Corey Brewer, who can't find time on our roster, that end up with the worst record in the NBA, can't find time on our roster, but is able to make significant impact in the NBA playoffs on different teams.
I think they made an impact for us. We just weren't a playoff team. You didn't hear about us, but I think JJ was good. You're not a JJ guy?
I mean, I don't want to disrespect the man, but no, he didn't do what he should have done here. He didn't do what he was brought to do here.
What was he brought to do here?
He was brought to be instant offense, a scorer, and a reliable backup point guard, and he was
What else do you
not
want?
reliable.
That's what
He was
did.
inconsistent.
He was
Well,
inconsistent.
The whole team was inconsistent. He won games for you.
He had some good games where he kept the Wolves in the game, but that was the only time I feel like he was effective on the court. Otherwise, he'd come in and jack up a bunch of shots and ruin the flow of the offense.
I would be
You know,
happy if Tyus Jones had JJ Barea type output in year one. Is that fair?
He was most effective when we were down 16 points in the third quarter and we needed to do something different. Bring him in, let him run around, flop around, throw weird passes to different guys, and see if he can mix it up and confuse the defense.
Yeah, I mean,
He was some instant offense. And he could come in and change the pace of a game and sometimes turn around the game, and he did. He won us a few games that way, but overall, he didn't.
right. And he was coming off that being a part of that championship team, that Mavs team,
Oh.
the year before.
Oh, where'd you go?
He got up.
Is Heidi coming in? Heidi! Oscar! I could switch the camera back.
That's crazy.
What?
I think the league is moving towards a three-point shooter right now for the next 3 years. We're not able to outshoot Golden State.
Okay, and we're back. Tyler Anderson from Chicago Lakes. Back on camera. Welcome to the show, Tyler.
Any questions come in yet, Nels? Are you monitoring the mailbag?
I don't.
I am monitoring.
Well, Nels is not on Facebook, so it's harder for him to get the Facebook questions.
Well, yeah, but been monitoring the texting.
So what's at this point, everyone's excited about what Karl Anthony Towns can do, what he can bring to our team, and how he can change the makeup of this team. What's a realistic expectation as far as record-wise? Advancing from 16 wins this season, what can we expect next season?
I think we were talking minimum 50 wins.
5-0.
Out of how many games?
82 games, Anna.
Oh, okay.
50 seems a little high.
This was our minimum for Kevin Garnett years. I think it's reasonable to go back to 50 as an expectation.
I would not say. I'd say I'd be happy with 30 wins.
Whoa.
That's even saying.
I mean, you could double your wins and still be at 32 wins, and that'd be a significant improvement.
I think that's doable. It's. I mean, if they all can stay healthy, is the big
Who's
thing. We had
better
so
than
many
us in the
injuries last
West?
year.
Who's better than us in the West? Nobody.
Thunder, Rockets, Warriors, Spurs.
Yeah, but who else? That's about it.
Blazers, Nuggets, Jazz, Lakers, Clippers, Grizzlies.
Yeah, but who else?
Yeah, but he's only named like 10 of them.
Mavericks.
Mavs? Well, they're getting rid of Felton. Were you a Felton guy?
King. So, I heard you guys compare Okafor to
Duncan.
Tim Duncan,
Performance.
but I haven't heard a lot of comparisons for Karl Anthony Towns. Is there a player in the NBA or that played in the NBA recently that you would compare his game to?
I don't know.
Well, you want to say Anthony Davis, being the Kentucky connection, but he's not as athletic as
No,
Davis.
he's not even close to athletic as Davis.
He's more
Probably
deep.
not as defensive-minded either.
No.
Well, there's not too many fives like him. He's a true 7-footer. You know, he might be more like Embiid. We got a text in coming from Gabe.
Is Gabe watching? Why?
Yeah, Gabe has a question for Tyler. Good value for the trade up for Tyus. Did you want the 31 and 36, Tyler?
You know,
Is that good?
I thought that the 31 and the 36 were good value to use as trade. I didn't think that we needed to keep either pick. You know, I think going into the draft, we said we wanted 2 players out of the draft maximum because of how young our team is already and how full it is. So I think 2 players maximum. So you did want to trade those 3 picks down to 2 at a minimum. I was okay with trading them down to get a better player. What I was not okay with was packaging one or both of those picks to just get rid of a player that we already had. As an example of like the Anthony Bennett trade. I didn't want to trade the 31-36 and Anthony Bennett for 28. I didn't think that was worth our time. But to get a player of Tyus Jones' caliber and the ceiling that he has for those 2 picks, I do think is significant value. So I approve of that trade.
Bailey wants me to go to bed with her.
Okay. Well, say goodbye to Bailey. We're taking Anna and Bailey are leaving.
Hey, we gotta talk about the
Anna
4th of
wanted
July
to Anna wanted to talk to Heidi though, so we'll have to talk to Heidi later. Okay.
I want to tell her how amazing it is at Lake Vermilion.
How amazing what is?
Just how amazing it is at Lake Vermilion.
Oh, yeah, sure. I just did get a text from Heidi. She's going to be leaving Coon Rapids in 20 minutes, so she's going to be a while.
Oh.
Yeah, I won't be here. I'm
Okay.
I got to drive back to Fridley. I'm in Savage here, so.
And Nels has got to go.
So we'll just leave this live feed going for another hour and a half, and then we can ask her.
What is in Coon Rapids? What's going on? Coon Rapids?
So
I'm close to Coon.
that might be a non-live feed conversation we need to have.
Okay.
You gotta convince her to come up because it'll be really, really fun to hang out with you guys, and it's totally amazing at Timbuktu.
You don't need to sell me.
Yeah.
Nels, I did send you. Did you get the email I sent you today, Nels, late this afternoon? It was probably 5 or 6 o'clock.
Yes, I read that first part of it to them.
Okay, good.
The second part where you gave your recipes, that was not.
I read the Timbuktu part to them.
Okay, great. Okay, any other analysis that we're missing out on here?
We're having someone compared to Olajuwon right now. Well, Jahlil Okafor is being compared to Hakeem Olajuwon. Fair or not?
So Okafor gets Tim Duncan and Hakeem Olajuwon?
All right, bye,
Both.
Nels. Thanks for coming over.
Yeah.
Really
Both
appreciate it.
the dream.
We'll see you again soon. Oh, hey, you gotta. I don't know if you guys decided exactly when we're gonna go up there, but
Yeah,
you
we'll
gotta
figure
talk
it
to
out.
them,
We'll
tell
figure
us
it
so
out.
we can get stuff for Bailey. Okay.
Yeah,
bye.
so the dream and Mr. Fundamental, big fundamental. I think I don't think it's that crazy. I think maybe 10% chance that he's that good, but I think there is a chance.
Sure. Okay. We're on the clock again.
We got another question from Gabe Icom. How will Tyus do as a rookie? You want to predict a point per game total, that sort of thing? Assists? Where does he fit in?
Yeah, it's really tough to predict, I think, because he's coming in. He's going to be a backup, obviously, to Rubio, and so he's going to get backup minutes, not going to have all the opportunity in the world, but he'll have some chances to prove what he's worth this first season. And, he may get some games where he can be the starting point guard if Rubio goes down with an ankle injury or whatever that he's had the last couple of years. So there's always a chance that he does get full minutes. But, I think that he comes in and gives the 10 to 15 minute mark and keeps Ricky Rubio's legs fresh. And, if you see him scoring 6 to 8 points a game and 3 or 4 assists, I think those are good numbers from him. What do you guys say?
I think it's going to be hard for him. He's used to playing a lot of minutes, so we'll see. I think his three-point shooting is not his strength, so it could go 6 and it could go downhill, and he can't really get himself into the game. Might get a little overpowered. Would you now on the other side? What if he's amazing? You trade Rubio? Do we get rid of Rubio?
I do not trade Rubio under any circumstances.
You wouldn't?
You're Rubio Bobo?
No.
My biggest knock on Rubio is I'm trying to decide what's prettier, Charles Barkley's golf swing or Ricky Rubio's jump shot.
Has it improved in
I don't think it's improved.
last year?
I don't think it's improved. I think it's still ugly. I think it's
I'm gonna
still.
fact check this.
I think it's a big, such a huge, by far his biggest weakness. I think he does almost everything else very well, But when you don't have a guy who can hit that mid-range jump shot, especially at the end of games and close games, when you need your point guard to run the show, to run the offense, to be able to come off a pick and hit a big shot, I think that really hurts us a lot. But that's his low. I mean, that's his.
Okay.
Other than that, I love Rubio, but it just frustrates me so much watching the Wolves. Especially at the end of games, and he's trying to be the guy, and he can't hit an open jump shot.
But now he may not have to be the guy.
Yeah, with Wiggins, maybe just get the ball to Wiggins.
Okay, so he.
Wiggins in a second, throw it down to him and get fouled and hit 2 free throws.
Yeah.
So I think that changes the makeup a lot in that situation. I want to ask you a couple questions here to close us out tonight. Now that we've seen the names that have come through that were drafted in the 31 and 36, do you still feel like it was good value to get Tyus Jones? At 31, C.D. Osman, we saw him. We already commented on him. At 36, Rakeem Christmas went. What do you guys think?
They're showing him on screen right now. He's got a terrible vest. So that I don't really care about that. His last name is Christmas, though.
His first name rhymes with Hakeem, so
we could have had two.
And
we could have had Rakeem and Hakeem Jr.
And he has a really great holiday as his last name.
Probably the best holiday.
Would you say he's kind of a cross between Hakeem Olajuwon and Santa Claus?
Or Lloyd Christmas from Dumb and Dumber.
Lloyd Christmas.
They're still pumped.
All right, so my final question here from you guys, for you guys here tonight. Karl Anthony Towns, limited in his minutes during his college season. Why were his minutes so low?
The team was too deep.
Yeah,
that's
what I was going to say. They got too many weapons. They didn't.
Trey Lyles went 12. Cauley Stein went 13.
Yeah, 4 guys.
You can't play those 3 together. I don't think he could have put any of those guys at the 3. So
when you got 12 All-Americans on your team.
So is he going to have any difficulty adjusting to playing 40 minutes a night?
I don't think he's going to play 40 a night. I think we're still going to keep Pekovic. We can't trade him.
Yeah.
We still got Jang. Towns they say he can shoot it, but he took 2 threes in college. He made 2 threes. I don't see him moving out immediately. Maybe at some point in his career he develops a shot, but I don't think we're going to be shoveling it to him in the high post, expecting him to make a bunch of jump shots right away. I think they're going to sub him in for Pekovic. He's going to go back to the basket. He's going to guard their 5. I don't see anything more than 25 minutes.
Sure. Okay, any final remarks before we sign off? I got to get going here.
Yeah.
We got a big news report here. Toby Keith's bar is being shut down. Your thoughts? Toby Keith's bar in St. Louis Park. That was a big spot for you, I know.
I heard they're putting up Buffalo Wild Wings there.
Never been to Toby Keith. Have been to Buffalo Wild Wings. Yeah, it's too bad for them. I hope they get their spots straightened out. And
Get yourself a pair of $400 jeans, plop those cowboy boots up on the bar at Toby Keith's, and your wolves will come howling at your door.
yeah, Dark Star.
Dark Star Memorial Hour.
Are we signing off?
Okay, thanks for joining. AO, thanks for joining. Nels, great insight from you guys tonight. It's an exciting time to be a Wolves fan. #1 overall pick, Karl Anthony Towns coming in, and Tyus Jones coming home for the Timberwolves. We're going to have an exciting season next year and beyond.
Looking forward to it, yes.
All right.